what year did you meet Guruji?
2011.
Okay. Are you still married? You're not.
No,
You're
no.
brahmachari.
Brahmachari and officially divorced.
And you had a daughter as well.
Yes, she passed away when she was 6 months old.
Okay.
Yes.
And I heard the sad story of her passing. Would you want to talk about that a little bit?
No problem.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's been now 12 years ago.
12 years?
Yeah.
Okay. I can't imagine the pain of losing your child, whatever age. And was that in any way responsible for keeping you on the path or deepening your practice or anything?
It was definitely a fire test.
Please tell us about what happened.
Okay, I'm going to quickly share the story along with some miracles that Guruji did in the way, because the story is very rich. It's sad and it's hard, but it's also very rich and very enlightening. So I met Guruji shortly after my ex-wife then got pregnant, okay? Everything was perfect. The baby was born in August. Also fine. After some time, in the 5th day or 6th day, 1 week later after the birth, suddenly she's very weak. She's a bit bluish. She's breathing with difficulty. And then we run to a doctor, and the doctor says this is not something for the doctor. You should run to the hospital. We get in the car in the hospital. My parents from Brazil were still with me when this happened. And then we rushed to the hospital. And from the hospital, they tried to find out what she has. They didn't find out so easily. They realized it's better to bring her to another hospital. And in that way, from the first hospital to the second hospital, she was in an ambulance. Okay? And in that moment already, she actually passed away. And it was 6th day, I believe. But we didn't know. We got to know later about this. When we reached the university hospital in Mainz, in a city in Germany, later on the next day, the doctor said, you guys are very lucky. Because in the trip in the ambulance, your daughter, all the organs stopped working. Even the blood stopped flowing. So long she was out. But because of protocol, we have to keep trying to awake her.
Resuscitate
her. And eventually she came back suddenly. And we spent the whole day making tests. And everything is perfect. There's no damage. And then I was calculating the time when this was happening in the ambulance. It was on the same moment, exactly the same moment I was talking to Guruji in the phone. Guruji was traveling in another country. I was talking to Guruji on the phone. I was stressed, crying for Guruji. They found out she has a hypoplastic left heart syndrome, which is the left part of the heart is a bit smaller than usual. So the right part of the heart makes the whole job. So emergency surgery is needed so that one side of the heart make the job of both.
Wow.
Okay? So when she was in the ambulance and they were trying to resuscitate her, at the same time I was talking to Guruji on the phone. And Guruji was so quiet. I was desperate, dying on the phone. And Guruji was just like, oh, no, she'll be fine. No, she's much better now. I'm like, how much better now? You just find out she has like a very rare, crazy heart condition. Oh, no, she's much better now. And I could not understand his words. And then later in the night or the next morning when the doctor told us, she actually came back to life in the ambulance. They understood.
Yeah.
Like, what was his doing?
I get the chills.
It was his doing, you know. It was not nothing else apart from that. And then she flew with the helicopter to another hospital far away, emergency helicopter. And then what happened? She made like emergency surgery. And everything was supposed to be fine, and everything was fine. But this surgery, it's made in 3 processes. So there's the first surgery, and then the baby grows. Eventually, they have to change this shunt. It's like an artificial piece that is attached to the heart. They have to change this shunt to a organic thing. And then eventually, much later in life, even this is removed, let's say. There's 3 surgeries throughout the first phase of the child.
I see.
So she made the first one. I saw her with a literally open chest. I could see her heart beating in the recovery process of the healing in the children's hospital in Bonn in Germany. So, but the recovery that she had was much better than usual. Usually she's supposed to be in the hospital for many months, and they always need the oxygen to make sure that the heart is beating fine, so we knew the oxygen levels. But after some weeks, the doctor said, actually, she's going so good, she can go home. And after 1-2 months, they said she doesn't even need the devices.
Wow.
Just go to the doctor every 2 weeks and stuff like this. So she was having a perfectly normal development.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say we had a perfect daughter for 6 months. Of course, there was some extra work to do because of the condition, but the development, the connection, the baby was just normal. Guruji gave her a name, was Sharda.
Okay.
When she was born, Guruji said, "Oh, because she's Lakshmi, because she's a girl. Her name is Sharda," and he manifested a very beautiful necklace with 2 little gems. That's my Lakshmi carries now in my room.
Wow.
Yeah. So this moment passed. When she was 6 months old, beginning of January of 2013, Guruji said, by the way, your daughter was born like this, not because of her, because she's very high soul, she's very advanced soul. But she came like this to clean karma from the mother side of the family.
Wow.
And when she was in the hand of the grandmother from mother side, she just passed. And there was a 1% chance that this artificial shunt closes before the second surgery happens. 1% chance.
And that happened.
And that happened to her.
Mm.
She was just in the. She was for some days a bit more agitated, but there was nothing medically wrong.
Mm.
And then suddenly, I remember I was playing in the birthday of some 80 years old lady in Germany, playing jazz and stuff like this. I was already devotee, but I had my musician job on the side back then.
Yeah. You were doing 2 gigs at the time, initially, when you...
Yes. Yeah. And then what's funny enough, there is a bhajan that somebody will rarely see me singing, which is this Gujarat bhajan, Mite Ras Se Barodi. Oh, Mite Ras Se Barodi, Radharani Lage. People, I don't sing this usually because when Shardeb was born, I took her in the hand after the mother left me. I took her in the hand and I sang this bhajan first thing. Wow. And when my ex-wife called me and said, "You have to come. Something's wrong. The ambulance is here. They are trying to revive her. Come." And I'm driving on the highway fast. I was on the car singing the same bhajan. Wow. So she came and left his body. I was singing the same bhajan. So this bhajan connects me to this whole story. Yeah. So now, of course, I do feel a little bit emotional, but there's nothing negative and bad. So Guruji basically gave us 6 months of happiness. She actually left her body on the 6th day. Wow. And Guruji gave her 6 months. And then he was the one, after she passed, he was the one who hold our hands so tight, like, let's say, it made us okay. Like, I was in the ashram in Germany. My ex-wife moved to the ashram in Vrindavan for some time. And then we both chose to live for Gurudev. We said, we're not going to restart family life now. It makes no sense. We got our share of family life. And then God decided that it's supposed to be short. Now
She's also on a spiritual path now?
She's devotee of Gurudev. Yeah. And she lives now in Tiruvannamalai.
Okay, that's amazing.
And she's a good friend. Very good friend. Yeah, there's no issue
there. It is a deeply sad and moving story as well. What do you make of this? What do you make of, like, didn't that... recently a friend passed away last year. He was 14. Very different experience. I can't even compare like a father's loss to that. Yeah. A friend passed and I found myself in a state of anger for a very long time. Yeah. Because he was a good guy, and he was the one who introduced us to spirituality, a little bit of the spirituality that we have in our lives. He was the one who was talking to us always about Bhagavad Gita and all these things. And here he is just leaves us. And I was just so angry, and I was like, okay, there's no sense in anything. It's all just, we're born, whatever we pay attention to, we become that, and then we die. And so whatever you pay attention to. So that was sort of a belief, and I couldn't process it. Yeah. How did you process this heavy experience back then?
Look, that's the dumbness of human mind, Like, we know that everybody's going to die. We know that most of the people are not going to live into old age. We know that children also die, but we cannot be ready that it happens to us. It doesn't deny the existence of Bhagavan and his love. Because what makes us so angry is just our fear. First, the fear of missing, the fear of this love connection to the soul, and the fear of the unknown, what is on the other side. But like when I hear Guruji so many times saying like the act of dying is one of the most beautiful things, Guruji said, when a good person, when a good devotee dies, even much more beautiful than the birth. If you could see what happens there.
Wow.
The light, how it travels, how so many people come to help this moment, like so many souls, so many entities, so many devas, Dying is a very special thing because we are so attached to the material reality, we just cannot accept. And it's just our idiocy because it's so obvious in our face.
Yeah. It's one thing that's like so obvious.
You cannot open one newspaper and don't be reminded about death.
Yeah.
But still, when it happens to us, we are angry with God. But before, when it happened to the neighbor, we were not angry with God. So this makes no sense, no?
So true. Absolutely. If you enjoyed watching this little clip, I'm pretty sure you'll love the full video. You can watch the full video by clicking somewhere around here. I think it should be on the right.